what's up, guys? This is TS Football Broadcast. I am here covering the first day of XFL. This was Saturday football. Now, I wrote a lot of notes because I was watching every single snap, except for on Twitter when I went to go get hash browns. And yeah, I was pretty much watching the entirety of both games. So I got a lot to say, so this video might be longer than usual because I took notes through the entire game too. Elijah Campbell looked really good early on. For some reason, I can't remember what team he was on. Like, Elijah Campbell. I'm pretty sure that was a DC defender. Oh, right, I should probably talk about the... I'm disorganized. Okay, hold on. Elijah Campbell. I can't remember where he's from. But hey, it's fine. It is super fine because he looked good. Now, we're going to start talking about the quarterbacks for a little bit. I have first half and second half thoughts, pretty much. I thought Cardale Jones in the first half looked nervous and a little off the mark. And I put in bold, looked more comfortable running it than throwing it, which I think was true. I thought Silver's ball was not great. He did look over his skis at times. But he had a strike on that one-point conversion at the end of the half, which kind of, I think, helped him a little bit later on. But I think, man, his first half was off, and then that strike at the end kind of made me feel better. Now, Seattle Dragons running back Keenan Farrow was awesome. I also think Trey Williams' TD to end the half was a beautiful run after catch. Was a beautiful run after the catch, excuse me. Then Austin Podol had a good touchdown early on, too. Eli Rogers was excellent on that one tipped ball. He was excellent throughout the game. I think he finished with close to 100 yards. Yep, 6 targets, 6 receptions, 73 yards. Did not get a single touchdown, though. But I thought he was excellent. And then look at, I think it was still in the second quarter early. The Dragons punter botched a kickoff, giving the defenders great field position, which ended up being a tie Raza 55-yard field goal to end the half for the defenders. This is kind of my opinions of some of the other stuff before we get into the second half. Seattle had a great idea having the returnman back on that kick. I also noticed the XFL had to reset the clock a lot. Pep Hamilton looked like the best coach in the XFL. He adjusted well in the second half. He looked like one of the better coaches. Jim Zorn, though, looked pretty damn funny. Could be like a Dabo Sweeney, what's that guy's name? Lane Kiffin type kind of humorous guy. Even though Lane Kiffin's kind of a douche, but could be kind of like humorous because he said... He was like, be stingy at the football, Brandon. Be stingy. Like, how many times they say be stingy at the football, Brandon, to Brandon Silvers? It was kind of funny. Now, I thought the Dragons moved the ball better than the defenders in the first half. And the defenders' D also had a pick 6, which is pretty awesome. And I think I wrote, in the second half, the offense needs to adjust if they want to move. And then my second half notes, the first thing it says, in all caps, Eli Rogers to Cardale Jones, beautiful. Now, the flip was from Rogers to Donnell Pumphrey, or is from Jones to Pumphrey to Jones. I think there was Rogers in there. It was, like, crazy. It was flipped from Rogers to Jones, and then Jones sling it to Kari Lee for their tight end for the touchdown. And then Pumphrey was awesome on the extra point. Defenders just in general came out of that second half with an amazing adjustment. But Silvers was doing some Patrick Mahomes-esque things to start the second half when he threw that touchdown to Austin Podol. Like, he kind of like ran around. He was like where his center would be during snap when he threw the touchdown. I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought the defender's defense also rebounded nicely after that. And then Presley had a big 3rd and 11 for the defenders, I believe it was. And then I also noticed this. There was a lot more flags in the second half. I don't know if that was just me, but I thought that was good. I thought there was more flags. I don't think it was good, though. Defenders' defense was amazing in the third quarter after that opening drive. And then Rashawn Ross on 4th and long got this beautiful touchdown from Cardale Jones. Then he threw it in a triple coverage on the 1-point conversion. Which, it's like, dude, you just threw a beautiful touchdown. You're going to throw into triple coverage now? Great idea. The defenders were awesome in the fourth quarter. Defenders' defense. They had a 4th down pick 6, and then they roughed the kicker, and then the Dragons ended up fumbling it, and the defenders recorded an awesome goal line stand. In addition to this, the Dragons were awful on 3rd down throughout the game. They weren't too bad on the 4th, but on 3rd down, they were like something crazy low. Like at one point, it was 1 for 8. They might have gotten a couple more, like maybe 3 for 11. Ooh. Or maybe 4 for 12. I mean, it was pretty awful. And then DC ended up winning the game 31-19. Okay, here's the stats, because I wasn't all for like, I was just looking at the game. I wasn't really like, oh, hey, I care about stats, which, I mean, I do, but I don't. So rushing-wise, Cardale Jones ran it 9 times for 28 yards, in addition to throwing it for 62% completion percentage, 291 yards, 11 yards in attempt. He had a 70-yard bomb, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and 125 quarterback rating, which I think is solid. He was mistake-free, sort of, which is good. Their backup quarterback, Tyree Jackson, also got a carry in for 5 yards. And the previous mentioned Presley had 12 attempts for 31 yards, so he wasn't getting stuff going. Donnell Humphreys had 4 for 5 yards, so yeah, their run game was... I would not want to be a part of that run game. Already mentioned Eli Rogers. Sean Ross, I already mentioned his big touchdown, but he did get another catch. Kari Lee, already mentioned his 39-yard touchdown. There's some other pass catches, but none of them were important. On the Dragons offense, Keenan Farrow had 7 rushes for 49 yards. Gardner had 9 for 36, so they had a way better run game. But here's what I think did win was the turnovers. Brand Silvers, he threw it a lot more than Cardale Jones. He ended up throwing it 40 times, complete 53% of his passes. Somehow had less yards, which I think is a problem. He only averaged 5.4 yards in attempt, another problem. And he threw 2 picks. He did have 3 touchdowns, but he threw 2 goddamn picks. So that was another problem. Receiving-wise, Austin Poto, even though he had 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, only got half his targets, which isn't good. Bird wasn't much better either on the target ratio. Williams dropped to 1, but he had 1 touchdown and 27 yards. So and Kia Farrow was targeted 4 times, but only got 14 yards out of it. And Reynolds was targeted 7 times, only caught 2, and ended up only having 5 yards. So yeah, that was the offensive side of the game. And then the Seattle defense only managed 1 sack the entire game. Whereas both defenses, I swear the DC defense had more than 1 sack. I don't know, that's my mistake, I guess. Moving on to the Houston Roughnecks at the LA Wildcats. Now after this, I'm going to have my Saturday opinions as a whole. So this video isn't going to be done after I'm done talking about what I saw in Houston at LA, which I was also cooking supper during this, so it's not quite as much of an analyst, but yeah, I still analyze it. PJ Walker to Cam Phillips on that first drive, I love that. I thought it was a beautiful throw, beautiful catch, just loved it. And then Charles Knopf, the throw and run for the touchdown was pretty good. Josh Johnson was out, so that's why he was starting in LA. And then the crazy 2-point conversion to Jordan Smallwood was pretty dope. And then the Wildcats dropped a punt. And then, they ended up thank God the Wildcats ended up having a defense, or else it could have been bad, as the Roughnecks end up whiffing on field goal. I'm saying like and a lot, guys. I'm sorry about this. I'm still kind of adjusting to the XFL. It's like a lot of new names. Which the Wildcats D on that drive at least was pretty stout. Oh, yeah, Seattle game. I forgot I mentioned the score. It ended 19-31 in the Seattle game. So I'm sorry if you were like, where the hell's the score? It's over here. I am really sorry about that. Anyway, moving on. Knopf has legs, is what I kind of got from the first half too. But he got picked off in the coolest way though. There's this whack play with his pick. It was like some kind of like pop up. It looked more like a fumble than an interception. But right before that, a Wildcat lineman Bahi caught a first down catch, which was pretty cool. After that, Smallwood caught TD, which led to it being 14 unanswered. Nelson Sluice was awesome as well. Forward punt, there's a punt. It got muffed. It bounced back into the returner's hands, and he ran forward for a huge return. That was pretty awesome. And then Walker, just a big time throw to Sam Mobile to end the half. And on the 2-point conversion, there was a pick. Now, second half, I was gone for chunks of the third quarter. So, chunks of the third quarter. So, if I missed something, I'm sorry. The Roughnecks defense was hunkered down the second half. Knopf talked Moss into going for it on fourth down when they were down something big, which is smart in my opinion at that point in the game. It's like, yeah, I can see it, but they didn't execute it well, and as a result, they did not get the first down. And then in the fourth quarter, Knopf got benched for McLendon, who threw a pick right away. Charles Knopf, I can't remember. I don't think it's Mike McLendon, so I'm kind of out of luck there. And then, yeah, he threw a pick right away. Roughnecks are just dominating the game. Hold on. Yep. Sorry, I had to fix that. Roughnecks were dominating the game. They scored 25 unanswered for a final score of 17-37. So, and then this is just kind of the end stuff. PJ Walker can also run. He threw a pick with 5:36 left in the fourth, so don't take that pick against him. Knopf came back 2 drives after McLendon as well. And Spruce was the first XFL receiver to hit 100 yards, which is pretty cool. Now, the Wildcats were scoreless in the second half, which I think was an amazing adjustment by the Roughnecks. And the Roughnecks head coach could also be in the conversation for best coach, as well as P.J. Walker being the best quarterback. Because P.J. Walker, he had 59% completion percentage. Not good. But 272 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had a pick, but that pick was late, so take that for what it's worth. And then I think it was Nate Spruce or Nathaniel Spruce. He had 15 targets, caught 11 of them, and got 103 yards. And that is how the first 100-yard game came to be. Oh, I think it's Jack McLendon. Sorry about that, guys. For the LA Wildcats. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little disorganized. Yeah, so they end up having a solid run game because Knopf had legs, so he was able to get 21 yards and a touchdown off of that. And then Elijah Hood had 43 yards and 3.6 yards in intent. Knopf himself, 53% completion percentage, 214 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And then McLendon went 1 for 4, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick, which was just awful. I don't know why they did that. It's like, yeah, maybe he needs to settle down, but still. Jordan Smallwood only ended up catching half his targets, but he got a touchdown, so that makes it kind of forgivable. And then they targeted 2 guys 7 times. Green, they targeted 3 times, and Blacknall, they targeted 4 times. Neither of them got a single catch, single yard, single touchdown, or anything. Now, the defender or Roughnecks receivers, did a lot better. I mean, Lewis got 5 catches on 6 targets. But I will say one thing. Holy shit, Sammy Coates sucks at catching the ball. Targeted 9 times. Tied for most on the team. The other guy being Phelps, who wasn't much better. He caught 2 of those targets. 26 yards. I could not take it. I was watching that, And yeah, that was not pretty. I wrote a note about that. Sammy Coates needs to hold on to the damn ball. That also can go for Chad Phillips. I think that's his name, Chad Phillips, something Phillips. He only got 4 balls. But at least he got 67 yards and a touchdown. Coates was just dog crap. Now, defensively, we saw 1 sack out of Sean Oakman. Remember that legend? He got a sack. Sean freaking Oakman. That was pretty cool for the Wildcats. Now, for the Roughnecks, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sacks. In addition to 1 forced fumble, and it was recovered. And, yeah, there's also 2 picks. So I think the Roughnecks, in terms of the Saturday slate, had the best defense with Lewis picking up 2 sacks. That was cool. Lewis had 2 sacks, and he had the forced fumble. So look out for number 54, Lewis of the Roughnecks. He could be pretty good. So now my final takeaways from Saturday. I advise you guys to watch the XFL. I think it's a pretty fun league to watch, even though I think its quarterback play could use some improvement. But it's the first game, so, maybe they were just nervous. I also think crying Cardale Jones, the possible face of the XFL, was maybe a bit premature, because what I saw from PJ Walker, he looked a hell of a lot better than Cardale Jones. I think Houston has a better defense than Seattle or LA as well. I keep confusing it because I'm like, but I think if Houston cannot drop so many balls and they can just kind of keep rolling, I think they could not keep rolling, run the ball more effectively. I think they could be a good team. Now, this is a common theme for the XFL. There was not a good run game this week. Like, none of the teams ran the ball particularly well so far on Saturday. So if I was going to give you a couple final takeaways, look out for the Houston Roughnecks defense. PJ Williams is a legitimate PJ Walker, is probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league, if not the best. This is just off of Saturday, guys. Saturday, week 1. This is the film I've seen. It could change next week. The run game in the XFL is significantly poorer than the pass game, and receivers drop a lot of balls. So, thank you all for watching this sort of organized. Like, I had notes, but I didn't have it scripted out. So, thank you all for watching this sort of organized XFL Saturday games recap. I will come out with Sunday's recap as soon as Sunday's games are over. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, tours in the description below, and goodbye.